One of the biggest misconceptions about Indigenous thought is that it is mostly superstitious and misguided. However, it is arguably more aligned with material reality than most realize. Western individualism insists on a strict boundary between self and environment. In contrast, Māori culture operates from the principle that the self is an extension of the environment and vice versa. Māori and other Indigenous knowledge systems are deeply materialist because they reject metaphysical dualisms and place humans within, not above or separate from, the material world. At the heart of Māori culture is whakapapa, which is not merely a genealogy of people, but a relational structure that connects all things: land, water, animals, plants, stars, wind, even concepts like warmth and absence. Whakapapa is a materialist framework because it does not rely on metaphysical separation, but instead describes the relationships and transformations between different expressions of matter and energy. Under Western individualism, reality is divided into separate categories, such as human versus nature. This is not a materialist view, but an idealist one, because it assumes these divisions exist inherently rather than being constructs imposed upon an undivided material world. In reality, there is no discrete line where human ends and nature begins. We are simply an expression of the same planetary matter that forms rivers, mountains, trees, and bacteria. To believe that humans exist outside of nature is itself a superstition, a purely metaphysical belief with no empirical basis. This superstition underpins capitalism, colonialism, and extractivism, allowing humans to treat the land as an object rather than a relation. Yet every material fact contradicts this belief. Breath. Every inhale and exhale exchanges air with trees, wind, and the ocean. There is no clear boundary where your air ends and the world's air begins. You are indistinguishable from the atmosphere. Food. The molecules in your body are constantly being replaced by material from plants, animals, fungi, and minerals. Every part of you was once the land, and every part of you will return to it. You are indistinguishable from the soil. Water. Your blood is over 80% water, drawn from rainfall, rivers, lakes, and aquifers. The same water that flows through your veins flows through the earth. You are indistinguishable from the hydrosphere. Carbon and minerals. The elements that form your body, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, are the same elements that make up the stars, the oceans, the forests, and the rocks. You are indistinguishable from the cosmos. For us Māori to say, "I am the river, and the river is me," is not a metaphor. It is a material statement of fact. You are the river in the same way a wave is the ocean, an emergent expression of a larger, continuous body of matter. A good example of this is the story of Maui fishing up the North Island, Te Ika a Maui, which means the fish of Maui, is a recognition of material continuity. If humans are the land writ small, inseparable from it, and land is humans writ large, our broader ecological body, then a fish too is just the land in another form. The island being called a fish is an apt description of its material reality. It emerges from the ocean, shaped by geological forces, just as a fish does. This relational ontology contrasts sharply with Western thought, where naming and categorization often create artificial divisions between things. In contrast, Māori culture does not see a contradiction in saying that an island is a fish because both are expressions of the same material substance. The story functions as a form of deep ecological knowledge, embedding geological and marine processes within an accessible narrative structure.